So honored and excited to be this year's winner of the Ellen Conner Kennedy Poetry Prize. So much gratitude to the editors and the selection committee. And it's been such a joy to hear everyone's work here tonight. And I can't wait to dive into this next issue and read more of it. I'm gonna read two poems. Thanks so much for bearing with us until the end of the show. They're both from the second manuscript I'm working on, and I'll end with the poem that will be in the journal. And I would like to dedicate both of these poems to people who have language barriers as part of their family makeup, whatever that means to you, especially my queer, non-binary, and trans kin, attempting to translate themselves into existence, and a content warning for mention of suicide in the first one. Between the lines. You suspect the roommate I bring home for Thanksgiving is someone I want around for Christmas too, so you say, if you're gay, I'll kill myself. You suspect after I break up with her and superly fall in love again that it isn't just a phase, so you say, I love you still. You don't like the new last name I take on with my once wife, changing the one word we once shared that paints our history in one thick line, but you say, I accept you no matter what. I come to the kitchen after getting dressed for a wedding in a gray tie and suspenders, a press shirt, worried you'll notice everything is from the men's section or that I feel more at home in them than the kitchen. You shred potato pancakes by hand. You walk over to me slowly. I get ready for you to say something I will try hard to forget, but instead you silently untwist my suspenders, hold my shoulders for a beat after and say, you look handsome, understanding somehow I wouldn't want you to call me pretty or beautiful, though you've called me that since. I wonder if this is the moment to say words like top surgery and hormones, and will you still introduce me to your relatives? My ex pretended to understand everything you did not, didn't need me to translate my pronouns into a different language until the day I told her my most faceted stone of a secret. We were at our favorite neighborhood restaurant, the one we've cried at and made up in, ate bread pudding like it didn't make our stomachs hurt, and she tried, I think, not to cry as I told her I might be somewhere on the trans spectrum, but she cried anyways, maybe hoped I would shovel the secret stone into a tiny pocket I forgot I owned. She had said, forever, no matter what, and all the ways you'll change. But acceptance isn't cursive on a piece of beautiful turquoise paper to rewrite and rewrite again. It isn't dreaming about how life might be easier if only just. It isn't being myself only one piece at a time. You knew, I think, when I asked you to stop calling me daughter and explaining that I didn't want you to call me son, that I wasn't joking. You knew, I think, that Google Translate couldn't help this time. Still, you say the right things like, I'm sorry, I love you, I will try. Google is playing on their laptop. Every time I read this line, I'm like, is the smart speaker gonna turn on? I don't know. Still, you say the right things like, I'm sorry, I love you, I will try. And I'm trying my hardest to let that be enough, until you can bring me home to your Korean Catholic cousins and not say, this is my daughter or my girl, but say, this is my Autumn, and be able to hold all the silence that will follow. All right, y'all, we made it to the last poem of the evening. Thank you again so much to everyone involved in making this happen. It's been a wonderful way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Rummage. I was 18 the first time I got a tattoo, following this one law as if it was a straight line and I didn't mind the ruler. When my mother finally saw the inked leaf on my ankle, she said nothing and walked into the kitchen, which is to say, what could I expect raising children in America? Or the counter needs to be wiped again, or good thing my mother can't see us now. The counselor calls, to say I'm a season away from dropping out. My mother's forehead to the mouthpiece, and she's saying, yes, I understand, which is to say, a backhand needs no words, or I never wanted this, or I am a bowl held together by a seam. I traveled to Korea for 6 months to learn her language. All I come back with is a word for that week in spring when the petals rain down and pillow the sidewalks in pink. The purple dusk around dark branches, the name of my uncle's cousin's son, and I say, Mom, I missed you, which is to say, I'm not brave enough to say this in a language I can't hide in, or I've missed you my whole life, or let's forget everything. The lonely Christmas tree, the pale cutting board, the phone flying through the air. The first summer I could smell after 27 years of not. I sit on a back porch, darker than my mother likes me from the sun, dizzy with a rupture of peach, my friend running between the porch and kitchen with my favorite sweater, raspberries, a cap, a cinnamon. My mother calls in the middle of this and I say, Mom, it smells so good. By which I mean this peach is like a summer body unafraid of its want, or I'm watching the darkness fall to its knees, or remember that one time we laughed together like this. She says, I'm happy for you. Good job. Which is to say, the sky here is a bird's blue. Or do you know the Korean word for wish? Or what I would give to be next to you, smelling something for which you will never find a name. Thank you all.